saying everything is going to shit and it's party time. The end is not.
The question is only what drink.
The only drink that matters.
I swear, if you say rum and coke.
A rum and coke. It's the only way to go.
What is?
Tell me I'm wrong.
No, I have a I have a genuine question here. So like when rum and coke is being like manufactured, right? When it's being, what's the word? Created. Like what's the distribution? Like is it 50-50 or
what do you
like,
mean what's the distribution? Oh, when I'm
like
actually making the drink.
Yeah, like how much
I was thinking
rum?
like you're talking about like some factory or whatever and they're just like making shit up.
No, but like how much rum to how much coke, right? Or is it like a personal preference?
It's usually a personal preference. It's also the like where I am at the time. If I'm at home, it's like 20% rum and like 80%.
If you're at home, it's like 80% rum, right?
Exactly.
Like, you don't have to go anywhere.
Exactly. Now, if I'm like at a party or something, we're talking more like 70% like rum, 30% coke. If I just want to like sit back, relax, and enjoy the evening, it's like probably a 50-50.
But like, what is it about? What is it about like the rum though? Like, why is it not like tequila and coke? You know, or
because
like
I'm not
and coke,
brave enough for tequila and vodka.
It's not that bad,
dude. Checks over my shoulder real quickly. The last time, okay, I had like vodka was like the night I ended up like puking all over people's walls. Right? Like that was
fine.
We never went back after that.
Okay. Well, here's an anecdotal story that definitely did not happen. But
hypothetically, of course.
Hypothetically speaking.
By the way, this entire podcast is entirely hypothetical.
Yeah. So I had a friend in high school who was an exchange, not really exchange student, but like. He's from Russia, right?
Oh boy, I know where this is going.
Right, yeah, and
where they just have like vodka like injected into their bloodstream,
right?
On like
yeah,
an IV drip.
Yeah, and you know, he like showed up and whatever, and we were like friends with him. We were chilling and stuff. And what he would do is, I remember, in our calculus class, like our teacher did not care like whatsoever.
Good.
Yeah, as he should, right? Like he had like the stupidest policy, like. It wasn't even that stupid because I didn't really mind it in a sense, but like he would do I forget what it was called, but it was sort of like an asynchronous teaching wherein you would watch a video at home and then when you got to class he would like answer any questions you had, and if you didn't have any questions he would just let you spend that period of class working.
True.
So it was kind of like university learning in a sense, I guess. But yeah, anyway, so we would do nothing during that class, and he would bring like these like water like bottles and stuff.
Okay.
Of vodka and grape juice to class.
Right.
Yeah, and we would actually drink that during class, and it was pretty good. So
wait, hold on, what in grape juice?
Vodka and
grape juice. That's what I thought I heard. I was like, all right, that's fair.
Yeah,
that's fair.
Yeah, no, we never got like sloshed or anything, so it was fine.
Proceeds to get up, like legs won't work.
Yeah,
just,
but like no, but if you like mix it, I guess same thing with the rum too. Like if you mix it and stuff, it's not too bad. You just got to find a complementary.
Yeah, well, unless you're doing shots, then like you just go straight.
Like orange, I don't like it with orange, but some people do.
See, there's like I don't know why. There's nothing that I shouldn't say it. Besides Coke. There's nothing that I actually like with rum. Right. It's really weird. Like I would rather just like straight up have a shot of rum, even though I know you don't do that technically. But the one drink I want to start getting into is bourbon. Bourbon? Like just a little. I feel like it's like one of those like sophisticated drinks.
Oh god!
You're sitting by like the fireplace at like some old like Harvard like hall or whatever. And you're sitting there with a glass of like bourbon or whatever. It's a good time.
Back in my day,
Back in my day, we had our entire society locked down for the sniffles.
Yeah.
So I had it once.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Twirling your mustache. I don't
know. Yes, twirling all of these specks of what I like to call facial hair. Yes, that's true.
My favorite is we do this thing where we get like this big jar of cherries.
Yep.
So we get a big jar of cherries, and then we dump like a kilo of sugar in that jar.
So it's sugar with a side of cherries.
Yeah, basically.
Okay.
And you let it ferment for 30 days, or like however long, and it becomes like a syrupy sort of consistency.
Okay, sure.
Yeah, and then we mix that with vodka, half and half, and that's my favorite drink. I really like it because it's really sweet. Some people don't like it because it's really sweet, but I love it because it's sweet and. yeah, that's my favorite.
I hear you.
I don't know if we can talk about this on Twitch or not.
So, are you just like a regular diabetic at this point?
Yeah, I am. Well, my father is at this point borderline, so you know.
There you go.
You know, like following in his footsteps.
Look, I think on Twitch, I've read the rules on Twitch. We can talk about it. We just can't actually show it on stream. So we're good. We're fine. Okay. Like, you can talk about alcohol consumption on Twitch. You're just not allowed to, like, drink on Twitch.
But, like...
So we're fine. We're good.
Like, why is the line drawn there, right? Like...
Good question.
Like,
and if someone wants to drink in the privacy of their own home, what's the issue?
Right, yeah. Like, you know, like, let's say, like... You know, I understand, like, in the States, the drinking laws are, like, whatever, 21 years old or whatever. But, like... Let's say,
which is weird for of all the things the states to crack down.
Right,
it's liquor.
Like, you can go to the military at 18, but you got to wait 3 more years.
Exactly.
To
consume a beverage. Like, think of it that way.
There you go. I don't know, but yeah, that's
it is.
That's what it is.
Yeah. Well, anyways, to anyone who's new to the podcast, this is the 501st podcast where we talk about Star Wars news, but usually we just basically shoot the shit until we get on to talking about it. So yeah, if you're new to the podcast, welcome on in, guys. We are once again joined by the one, the only, Mr. Luca.
Hi.
a man of very little words, and I kind of love it. Hold on. I love how we only have 4 viewers, and yet in the thing there's like another like 30. I don't get it. Well, in that case, can you, computer, stop breaking down on me? I beg of thee. There you go. Yay! It works. Okay, yeah. Anyways, we were talking about your the drink you like, sugar with a side of vodka.
Yeah, and cherries. It's just cherry brandy basically. Yeah, that's fair.
That's fair.
That's my fair. Yeah, fair. LCBO has a version, and it's not good. It is not anywhere. I mean, it's okay, but it's like the homemade one is where it's at. You know.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, and they also.
Yeah, hold on.
Going off the sweet thing, my mom bought me this bottle of Bailey's.
Oh.
And get this, it was red velvet flavored. Yeah, and
okay.
At first I was like, okay, yeah, sure, okay, yeah, right. Like, this isn't gonna taste like but no, I tried it and it was pretty good. I gotta say, like, it actually tastes sort of like the cupcake or the cake or whatever. Right?
I'm not a big fan of red velvet.
See, that's why you're a heretic, right?
Yes, I mean that's true regardless. But like, I don't know, like I don't mind the actual like cupcake, but like I don't like, for record, I don't like cream cheese.
Wow.
So when I have a red velvet cupcake, it's not icing; it's cream cheese. I was the actual like cupcake. I enjoy it; tastes good, but like, I don't need no cream cheese.
I was just going to say the opposite. I don't care about the cupcake, but that cream cheese icing, so good.
Disgusting.
It's so how can you not like it? Like, it is.
How does anyone like it?
It's cheese.
Yeah, but not all cheese is good.
Well, this one is. Like,
I disagree.
So good. It's like,
fundamentally.
That is one of my favorite foods of all time, is cream cheese icing. And I've yet to find like a store brand that makes like a good one. Like, right. I've tried like a bunch of them, and they'll say like, oh, cream cheese icing, blah, blah, blah. And it's just vanilla icing. Like, you can tell the difference. You know, I don't want vanilla icing. I want cream cheese icing.
Right.
So, yeah.
I wholeheartedly agree with you, Luca. Cream cheese icing, good. Austin's opinion, bad.
Thank you. I agree. Yeah.
I mean, that's fine.
Cream cheese. So do you just like not like cream cheese in general then?
Yeah, I don't like cream cheese in general.
Like
on bagels, on cupcakes, on bread, it's disgusting.
That is absolutely.
And anyone who does should be rounded up and blank and ... Is all I'm gonna say.
The only reason that the city of Philadelphia is known at all around the world is because of its cream cheese.
Who cares about Philadelphia? I'll say that now.
Cream cheese lovers. Who cares about New Jersey?
Whoa! We're not going. Okay. So for any of you who don't know, so I enjoy the NHL, and my favorite team is the New Jersey Devils. So what this man is spitting is some heresy, is some blasphemy. He is an infidel and a hater of good things.
New Jersey is a horrible city. Like, it is objectively, like, not good.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Austin doesn't like melted cheese in general. No, melted cheese is disgusting.
You don't like...
melted cheese is trash. I'm not even
surprised at this point.
I would rather have, like, nacho with no cheese.
How? That's just chips.
Yeah.
That's not good. Like, the cheese is that's why it's called nacho cheese.
I think you're wrong.
You know what? People like what they like, and that's totally fine. But, like,
no, it's
not. There's a certain limit.
You can't honestly say that.
There's a certain limit you're willing to go, and if you don't like melted cheese or cream cheese, that's too much. That's too much. Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I've been to New Jersey too. So don't just think like I'm saying this off the cuff. Like, I've been there. Not much to see, folks.
Well, yeah, no kidding.
You know why I think they're called the New Jersey Devils?
Why?
Because Satan himself created New Jersey. That's why.
You know what?
And they have to pay homage to him.
That's fair.
As part of the hockey name.
That's fair.
You know. Because, like, you look at, like...
Sorry, keep going. I'm just trying to type in the chat as fast as I can.
like, Philadelphia Flyers? Why are they called the Flyers?
Because they're fast when they skate. I don't know.
I don't know. What else is a stupid name? Rangers?
Because there's a certain sect of their police force called the Rangers.
What are they, like, the National Guard? Like they're like Mounties or something? No.
Well, yeah, actually, there's I can't remember what park their parks or whatever. The police that monitor them are called Rangers.
Okay, sure, I guess, but like that's like a whole like Appalachian thing. You know, there's more states in the Appalachians than just New York, right?
Sure.
New Jersey too,
sure,
and you know Pennsylvania and whatever. Yeah. Like,
can we just talk about how bullshit it is in the NHL that New York basically has 5 teams? Buffalo, New York Rangers. Sorry, 4 teams. Buffalo, New York Rangers, New York Islanders, and the New Jersey Devils. They basically have 4 teams.
No, New Jersey is its own state though. So
come on, I mean yes, but like let's be honest, like. It's like New York's ugly little brother, but like it's still in the family.
Well, the Islanders are supposed to be like the Manhattan team, right?
Yeah.
And then the I guess the Rangers are like the actual
city's team, yeah, exactly.
Or like the state team, I guess.
Right.
But I don't understand how sometimes the state gets the team and sometimes the city gets the team, right? Like you have like the Florida Panthers. Okay, that's cool. Florida's a state, and then you have Tampa Bay Lightning.
Yeah, which is 2 teams.
And Tampa Bay's in Florida, right? You know, you have Arizona Coyotes.
Yeah.
You have Seattle Kraken.
Yeah.
But Washington.
Yeah.
Well, that's capital, so that's DC. Never mind. But like, yeah, it's like you know, LA Kings is a city. Well, California doesn't have a city.
Islanders are the only valid Islanders. You know, it's not valid. A particular film that may or may not be mentioned.
Don't say it.
I didn't say it. I'm walking that line very carefully. Yeah. Wait, the PEI has a provincial team called the Islanders?
Yeah,
I mean, PEI is basically an island.
Well, no, I think what they I could be wrong, but I think what's the thing under OHL?
I think that's like AAA.
Yeah, okay, whatever. But don't they do it in some AAA teams and stuff?
Or is it like A? I don't know what's... I
think it's Rep.
Yeah.
Or Rep is just all the A's, I guess. I don't
know. Bill, PI stands for Prince Edward Island. It's one of the provinces in Canada. It's like a really tiny, insignificant piece of land.
Yeah, I guess.
It's considered a province.
But yeah, I'm pretty sure I could be wrong, but I think the way they do rep soccer sometimes is they'll give the different teams names based off of like actual NHL teams. So they'll have like, I don't know, Mississauga Coyotes. I'm just
Yeah,
spitballing here.
no,
They'll have like Hamilton Flyers or
Yeah.
whatever, right? So I think that's what they might be doing here too. But it also works because it is an island, right? So even if it is like an OHL team,
Yeah.
then like
Well, it wouldn't be an OHL. It wouldn't be an OHL because OHL is
yeah,
Ontario Hockey League.
Sorry, right?
You
yeah.
insignificant
And like a
rebellion.
PHL or
No, it would probably be part of the.
like the Maritime. Is there a Maritime?
No, they do. I was going to say maybe it's part of the QWHL, but that's a whole other thing.
What's the QW?
Quebec something hockey league.
Ew. Well, why do they get a hockey?
Quebec, actually, Martin Brodeur came out of the QW. I think it's QWJHL, whatever it's called.
And that's the only thing that ever came out of there.
I mean, I agree.
What about
There's
Fleury?
something good that comes out of Quebec.
Wouldn't Fleury have?
I don't think he came up in that system. I think he went to the AHL. Let me check.
Oh, he did. Oh,
I think so.
I have no idea. I don't know.
On Google.
But wait, is that on the
fly.
same level as the AHL?
No, no one cares about the OHL. Everyone cares about the AHL.
No. Is the QW blah 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 blah?
No, it's its own separate league.
But it's on the same level, sort of, right? It's like a
Yeah, Chad is saying he did go through the Quebec system.
Fleury.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Marc-Andre Fleury, QMJHL. I got one letter wrong.
Is that Quebec Montreal Junior?
The Quebecian I don't know what it's called. I'm not going to try to do that.
Well, no, wait. Let me see. Is it in French?
Probably.
Le Québécois Montréal.
The dog shit separatists.
Yeah. Ligue d'hockey.
On this podcast, we are very adamantly anti-separatist on this podcast.
Yeah. I don't know. I think they're cool in Star Wars.
I wasn't talking about the Star Wars ones, you fool.
Yeah.
I mean, separatists are pretty dope.
They're cool.
They're cool. They're
yeah,
there.
I was reading
New Gunner got the shaft.
there's this post online I saw. I was reading. It was like what do you wish what was it? It was like, what do you wish that Star Wars books like went more into, or like what do you think they should make?
Like the separatists,
like a Star Wars, yeah. And then one guy was like, yeah, well, they should do a book about like them and like their whole ideology stuff. 'Cause,
yeah,
like I think they should. You have that like one Clone Wars episode. What was it called?
Whatever it's called.
Yeah, it was like enemies on both sides, or it was something like that, right?
Where they humanize the separatists.
Exactly,
like,
right.
Oh my god, the separatists might have an actual reason for existing.
Yeah, it's not like all bad guys, right? So like,
it's just being manipulated by evil.
Exactly,
they're actually evil.
Yeah, by extent, sort of. But like, it's like, yeah, that would be an interesting sort of thing. So I think there's definitely room that they should kind of, take. I don't know. I think they could definitely write some stuff about that.
That's fair.
Make it cool, like from the point of view of like a separatist thing.
Yeah.
That'd be kind of cool.
Yeah, that one Clone Wars episode. What was it called? Awkward Silence. Look, we don't have all the episodes memorized.
I can find it, but I don't remember it. But I'm pretty sure if you guys have seen it, it's the one with the kid. What's his name? Lux Bonteri.
Yep.
Who's like Ahsoka's like pseudo love interest, kind of.
Yeah. Like they kind of bounce a line between like best friend and like lover.
sort of like, yeah, they're kind of like, oh,
it's kind of creepy given like she's still a child in that episode.
Well, it's sort of like the Romeo and Juliet thing where like, oh, we shouldn't be together.
Oh yeah,
sort
that
of
whole
kind of like different sides of the war, so to speak. I think that's what they were trying to play off of, but
and it didn't work.
I don't know. I thought it was okay because he actually shows up more often, right? There's the stuff with the Death Watch stuff,
yeah,
where like he's also there too, apparently, for some reason.
Because in a galaxy as big as this, everyone's just in the same spot.
Yeah. And then at the end, there's like the heartfelt scene where Ahsoka's like, "Oh no, come back to the Republic," and he's like, for his credit, he actually like stands by his convictions. He's like, "No, I genuinely believe that they're like corrupt."
They're in the wrong here.
Yeah, and so he kind of just like dips and leaves her there, right?
And may I remind everyone in the audience why the Trade Federation decided to like blockade Naboo? That was over taxes.
Yeah.
Hi there.
Oh, okay.
Look.
Yeah. And may I remind why people didn't like the prequels? Because of taxes.
Yeah, because look, the compulsion of the collection of taxation is a topic that isn't brought up enough. All right. Oh no, our republic is broken. Yeah, that's a problem. Yeah.
Well, I mean, they got replaced by the Empire, who's objectively cooler, so like it's not really a problem.
Cooler or more ethical, because like Empire kind of genocided a couple of places, but and enslaved people and all that good stuff.
Yes, but
no.
But I mean,
this is the definition.
Come on, Star Destroyers are pretty cool. You gotta admit.
Sure, we had Star Destroyers before we had Star Destroyers.
No,
they were just called Republic Command ships.
No, those aren't cool.
I'm a businessman, and I will be selling you the latest technology phone. I've tested this, and I have the photo special trait that when you drop it, it shatters and it breaks, and you can't use it anymore. So the regular phone. Awesome.
Wait, what? What happened?
Bill, I'm a businessman and I will be selling you the latest technology phone. I have tested this as I have the phone too. It's a special trait that when you drop it, it shatters and it breaks and you can't use it anymore. So the regular cell phone.
Is that like a more complicated like burner phone?
Maybe. This one's special. How is it special? You'll have to buy it and find out.
It's made of Gorilla Glass -1.
It's made of the tears of orphans.
Crystallized into an LCD screen for your viewing pleasure.
And does it have touchscreen? Absolutely.
Can I just rant,
please,
for a moment,
ladies and gentlemen? The Luca rant has begun.
Okay, so I don't know what like has been going on recently, but recently I've seen like a lot of bad drivers on the roads.
Hold on, we went from cell phones that break and made of the tears of orphans crystallized to there's a lot of terrible drivers out there.
You said we could talk about whatever we want. That's what I want to talk about.
Did I ever say once you couldn't say this?
Okay, so on the way here, right?
It's called a pivot.
I was waiting at a red light.
Yeah.
In front of a police station, all right?
That's correct.
So I'm just waiting there, minding my own business, right? This guy opposite from me is in the left turn lane. So he's going to turn left sort of this way.
Right.
And I'm going straight sort of this way.
Right.
So his left turn...
You realize that there's no camera, so no one can see what you're pointing to right now. Okay,
so I'm going straight.
Yep.
Directly across from me,
someone
is turning left.
Yeah.
Okay.
So they're going to be turning into you as you
move along. Exactly, right? So the light turns green, and I start going, right?
Right.
And this guy, the sheer audacity of this driver, where he learned how to, like, drive, I don't know.
Right.
Like, but he starts turning as I'm going forwards, right?
Right.
And obviously I stop, and he just keeps going. He just, like, no, sir, I have the right of way. That's not how it works, you know?
Sir, I have the high ground.
No, but, like... How do you do this in front of a police station is what I don't understand. Like, yeah, I'm just going to neglect all... And it's not like he had, like, an advanced left turn or whatever, right? No, this is your typical four-way stop, or your typical four-way traffic stop with left turn lanes, right? So there's no advanced anything. It's just green, yellow, and red, right? And he's still cut me off.
Yeah, idiot.
Yeah, he's an idiot. And it was like 8 p.m. Where are you rushing at 8 p.m.? Like, where are you going? Home?
Yeah, probably to his wife and children that he hates.
To the 7-Eleven? Like, I don't think...
No, he's going home to the wife he beats his children that he hates.
Probably. If he treats his wife like he drives, then the gloves are off. You know, like, yeah. That and you know, like, I don't know. I just had to get that out of my system. There's a few other times. People are just really bad drivers.
By the way, guys, that came out of nowhere. Just for the record, that came out of literally nowhere.
I feel like people are sort of emboldened by, like, the latest and greatest technology when it comes to cars. You know, they're sold, like, all this garbage about, like, safety, lane switching technology and, like, driver sense, blah 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 blah, you know, and they take it for granted, and they don't, like, care anymore about actually, you know, following the rules of the road, so to speak. I don't know, that's just like, okay, there still are, like, good drivers on the road, but
find me one.
Me,
I've been in a car with you. I fear for my life.
And how many accidents have I gotten into?
Near accident? No, I'm kidding.
No, zero.
Luke is a fine.
Zero, exactly.
Luke is a fine.
Knock on wood, but yeah, like.
But it's also because you can't afford a new car, so.
That's fine.
You kind of have to.
No, I don't think that's like a a detriment, you know? Like why? Okay, here's my thing when it comes to cars, right?
Go on.
Right? Okay. So I bought my car for $1,000, right?
Right.
And the new cars go for roughly $30,000, right?
Right.
My car has 4 wheels and an engine, right?
That's correct. The way that most cars do.
Yeah. The new Honda whatever, or the new Lexus, whatever car has 4 wheels and an engine, right?
Right.
So is that new car so amazing, so groundbreakingly technologically advanced that it's worth 30 times what I paid for my car?
For those of you who which is almost all of you, who have not seen Lucas' car, I'm gonna say yeah, because your car limps its way.
No, it doesn't. No, but it doesn't.
Your car is the equivalent of a geriatric.
No, it's not.
His way
no, but it's not.
It's
really not. I'm being honest here. My car can go the speed limit on whatever streets is required.
No, I know.
Right?
Does it function? Yes. Does it get you from point A to B? Yeah. It's a car that serves its purpose.
Yeah,
I agree.
And I just hate it how people will just treat cars as these disposable things. It's I'll just buy a new one or whatever, blah blah blah. Yeah, just put it on my credit, or I'll just trade it in for a lease of what happens to these old cars, right?
I agree.
People are just,
they get destroyed. They get shredded.
Yeah, they get destroyed. But think about everyone's saying, don't drive the car because it's bad for the environment or whatever. But is anyone thinking about what's actually bad for the environment when you're making all these new products that are just going to get scrapped a few years down the line?
Yeah. What year is your car?
2001.
2001.
Okay. My car is 20 years old.
You were close. Lucas' car's probably some 15-year-old, literally almost broken down Toyota from 1997.
No, my car is 20 years old and it still works exactly fine. And there are people who drive cars that are 50 years old that work exactly fine because they take care of their cars. This isn't a revolutionary thing, right? It's a machine, and you take care of it well, it's going to perform well, right? Nothing has revolutionized as far as cars go in the last 50 years. To warrant the kind of prices that they're charging people for cars, and they know they can. And it's crazy because you pay whatever amount you pay for a car, and the second you drive it off the lot, half the value has gone. It's depreciation. Yeah, exactly.
It's not depreciation.
What does that tell you? What does that tell you about not the actual value, but the assumed value of a car, right?
Yeah.
The amount that they're willing to get away with because people will gladly pay that price.
Well, it's no different than when you buy a product from a store or whatever, and they have a no refund policy, and they know their car, they know they're a thing that's broken as shit.
Yeah.
And you take it out of the store, the minute you leave the parking lot or whatever, it suddenly drops to $0 in value.
Exactly. Yeah. And again, if you don't want to talk about cars, that's totally fine.
No, I'm not. We can talk whatever you want.
But I personally,
I'm enjoying this car rage.
I hope I'm not too angry.
No,
I'm sorry.
You're good. No. Okay. No, anger makes for good content.
Okay, I'm an engineer, right?
Yeah.
So I like to keep up with technological advancements. I don't shun technology or fear it, right? I think it's cool.
I do have fear the dark side.
But I think that sometimes things are implemented that don't necessarily need to be there, and that oftentimes the convenience of an aspect has drastic unforeseen downsides of something that people don't realize until it hits them.
Right.
Case in point, my mother's new car, right, has no ignition slot, right? It's one of those key fob things where as long as you have the fob within the radius of the car, it'll turn on, right? So, she's driving like normal, right?
Right.
And the key fob runs out of batteries in the internal battery. Ooh. And you know what the car does? The car stops, right? Yeah, because it can't detect it anymore.
Right.
And no one's told this could happen, right? Or whatever. People are just I don't have to put the car in the ignition. Whoa, that's so crazy. I'll go buy a new car, right?
To start cars.
Yeah.
I don't understand.
I hate it.
I
hate it. I don't understand.
Well, congratulations, your car turns on with a button.
Yeah, is it so hard to put the key in the? I don't understand, because to me that represents a serious security flaw, right? As we advance with technology and stuff, and we integrate it more and more, how do we get to the point where you can just hack a car, Watchdog style, and drive away with it. I think that's a very serious...
Because people are willing to sell everything out in order to have a modicum of convenience.
Exactly. That's the thing.
Exactly what
they
it
value
is.
Convenience over practicality.
Else.
Yeah,
I agree.
Yeah, exactly, right? And they're not going to realize that until it hits them,
until
right?
It's too late.
And I don't mean to sound like
the car battery ends.
Yeah, and I don't mean to sound like a boomer or anything, right? Again, I'm not trying to.
Guys, can we get Luca as a boomer in chat, please?
I'm not trying to.
Hashtag
I'm not trying to
boomer?
hate on this stuff. I do think it's cool, but I think that sometimes you don't have to reinvent the wheel, so to speak, right? Like it's the same thing with Jurassic Park when they say you're so occupied whether you should do something, you didn't stop to think whether you could, right?
Chat's calling you a boomer. I'm just letting you know.
Yeah, I don't care.
But you are a boomer. Boomer. Hashtag Luca is a boomer.
Yeah, but like.
Yo, guys, would you guys pay for Luca is a boomer t-shirts?
Oh, God, no.
Hashtag Luca invented the wheel.
Maybe it was one of the previous...
You mean one of the greatest technological advancements which allowed people to do, like, great things, like agriculture?
The wheel is cool, but, like,
I mean, so is the nuclear bomb, but, like, that kind of had some side effects.
But keyless cars, like, come on. I think that's a little pushing.
I agree.
Like, you know what I mean?
When you can hack a car, Watchdog style. That's going to be the quote of the evening.
No, I think that's a legitimate security concern, right?
I agree.
Right? I haven't looked into the specifications of it too much, so feel free to correct me. But the key fob has some sort of frequency that it's broadcasting at, right? Most likely, it's probably some sort of microwave frequency, right? Like we use for internet and Bluetooth and all that stuff. I could be wrong. It could be like something more radio, whatever. But if you determine that specific frequency, right?
Right.
And you clone it or you spoof it in a sense, then I don't see what's to stop you from because the car doesn't have a brain. The car doesn't know whether it's a real key or a fake one, right?
Yeah.
So I
as long as something goes in something, we're good.
No, nothing's going in something. Like as long as it's within
like
the presence,
whether it's a physical in and out or whether it's like a metaphorical or hypothetical one. One of the greatest technical advancements ever was also the human brain. Too bad you never got one.
Me?
No, me. Oh. That's true. People already do steal cars that way. It's like, yeah. No, it's true.
Yeah.
Because now you no longer have to draw attention to yourself by smashing in a person's window or picking a lock. You can just go, bye, I'm taking your car.
Yeah, and people are...
Also, who's trusting self-driving cars? Can we get that straight? I'm sorry. I don't trust my computer to autofill something in, like, when I'm filling information out, let alone drive the car for me. Are you insane?
Yeah, I don't know. That as a technology still has like a ways to go, but like I agree. I still think it's
already selling self-driving cars.
Yeah, they are
in Europe. Like, it's insane.
Yeah, but the sort of caveat is that you do have to be legally behind the wheel. Like you can't just not be in the car.
Sure. Right? Well, if you wouldn't be in the car, what would be the point of the self-driving car? The whole point is to enjoy the fact that you can sit back, relax, have a cup of Joe,
legally you still have to be in the
car.
Driver's seat. You still have to be aware of your surroundings. You still have to be perfect condition. You can't
aware of your surroundings means.
Okay, you can't be inebriated. You can't be whatever.
Sure,
right?
Which we already have laws. Well, no. You know what? I disagree. I think you should be perfectly allowed to be inebriated behind the wheel if you have a self-driving car. Because the reason that we don't allow people to be under the influence while driving is because they're the one that's driving and making the decisions. If the car is driving itself, you're not the one that's making those snap decisions.
Right, but you're still... But the thing is, like, it's we're not at that level yet where, like, it's an omnipotent car that can just, like, do whatever it wants, right? Like, it still very much relies on the driver for certain things, right? If you have roads that are even slightly irregular, if they don't have that like dotted
car's
yellow,
like veers off the side.
The car's like, oh no, I'm going through an existential crisis here,
drives off the side.
Like you could never sell, sell a self-driving car to any like guy who lives in Alabama who's like slightly off the beaten path, right? Because the car won't do it. It can't recognize it. It
has to register.
Yeah,
something.
It uses the pattern recognition of the roads that have been fed to it, right? Through whatever learning algorithm it's using, and it recognizes if you're on some dirt road, fat chance that car is ever going to know where it's going, right? It's going to careen you straight into the tree, right? So, I don't think we're at that level yet.
car like picks up like the other side of the road's like thing or whatever. Drives through the divider. Just all right, guys, we got this.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, self-driving cars is a whole other thing, but yeah, with the key fob stuff, like I don't mind it. Right, I think you should be able to buy a car.
Yeah, of course.
And if you like that, you have to be willing to take the what's the word? The consequences,
yeah,
right?
Of course.
My only problem is that that seems like the way that the market's going, and there's no alternative for people who don't want that, right?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, let's say I buy a new car now, right? And yeah, it's not entirely, what's the word? Yes, it's not like super, like prevalent yet.
Right.
But I can conceivably see it being in the future where you can't even buy cars that have a key ignition anymore, right?
And once they master the technology for self-driving cars, the fob cars will kind of go at it.
Exactly, right? Yeah.
There won't be need.
Yeah, you know, like what if you want to drive then? What if they ban driving? What if they just make it that the cars are the only ones who can drive?
No.
Right?
Bill in the chat says, yeah, it's just an omniscient car that starts having an existential crisis. It starts having an identity crisis, starts to wonder what its aspirations in life are. I don't even have the answer to that question yet.
Why are we here? Just to drive people from A to B? You know?
What am I? Simply a, quote, vehicle for someone else's dream?
Yeah, is that the point of the car?
The car is literally a chauffeur at that point.
Yeah.
It's basically, could you imagine mastering self-driving technology? Like self-driving cars that could perfectly drive or whatever, and the car was like semi-alive, like
Jarvis.
It had like like Jarvis in the MCU. Hello, Master Luca. Like, do you have any idea how cool that would be? I mean, the cars would like start turning on us like day 2 because they listen to us sing in the car. And be like, I can't do it anymore.
What are they gonna do? Run us over?
They're gonna throw themselves off the cliff with us inside of it.
So it's like a Pyrrhic victory, right?
Exactly. Like, if I'm going down, so are you, you son of a bitch.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's cool and all, but like...
Guys, Terminator tried to warn us, and we didn't listen.
Yeah. We thought it would be Skynet. We thought it would be the missile defense systems that turned on us, but it was actually the cars.
It's the cars.
The movie tried to warn us about this, right?
Exactly.
Why do you think you never see any humans in that movie? Because they're extinct. You know, they've been genocided. It's just the cars that are like... Yeah. And you know, like... The buildings that you see in cars...
Can you say cancel? I can.
The buildings that you see in cars are human-designed buildings, but where are the humans, right?
They're all gone.
You can design more car accommodating
Here's my question. When
right?
a car, in the movie Cars, when a car drives down the road, is it driving or is it running?
Here's my question.
I want an answer. No. I don't need sleep. I need answers to these questions.
Is a grocery store in Cars the equivalent of a gas station? Are they one and the same thing?
I would think so, because they're there to buy fuel.
Yeah, because you never see grocery stations. You only see... gas stations,
yeah,
right?
Exactly.
Yeah, so it's like,
speed. I am speed. Bill, reminds us of the stream earlier with Corey. Speed. That kid was on speed.
Was it?
Let me no. Well,
I don't judge.
I wasn't there, but according to Twitch community guidelines, don't do drugs, kids.
Yeah, unless they're prescribed.
But it's okay.
Yeah.
Wolf got awkward real quick.
Yeah.
One winner, 42 losers. I agree. Or in my case, 0 winners, 1 loser.
And that's me. For
sure.
For sure.
If there's a car equivalent for humans, that means there was a Hitler in the Cars universe. Yo, that's a good question. He's one that the genocide of the humans.
That's an old take. Come on, that's like an old meme.
He wiped them out.
Yeah, but that means there's also like...
Hold on. Would that mean like the concentration camps were like scrapyards?
I guess.
I know this got dark, but I need answers to these questions.
Well, no, the real question is, when the cars go to watch a movie, do they watch a movie of humans? Is there a movie
is it other car? Are there car actors?
Is there a movie called Humans? Like...
I need answers. I can't do it.
And we know there's cars, right? We know there's planes, right?
Yeah.
So there must be sentient boats.
And do they exist in the same universe?
They do. They do. They do.
It's like a multiverse thing,
yeah,
right?
It's like an MCU for cars, right? I'm pretty sure that's confirmed.
Sense. An MCU for cars.
But like
that makes sense.
Does that extend for like tractors too? Are they?
Well, no, tractors are in the Cars movies. They're there.
Yeah, right. They're cows.
Yeah,
the tractors are cows, right.
And since planes are also alive, the 9/11 was just some random dude running into a building.
Okay, that's.
I love my community so much.
That's a little too much, but.
Whoa, hold on. We were talking with anyways.
Yeah.
Well, this literally went off the cliff and went off the deep end, but all right. I'll take it.
Yeah, I don't know. Like,
for those of you who've watched me for long enough, you know that I enjoy my good share of a dark and edgy joke, so I appreciate that one. That was a good one, Bill. I like it. I mean, you may be the reason why there's never a stream ever again, but you know, that's beside the point.
It was worth it.
Totally worth it.
So that was my rant about
drivers
car
and AI
fob
in cars.
keys. Yeah, the whole shtick.
AI, on a more serious note, AI does legitimately scare me. Like, it does legitimately frighten me. Because at what point do we make them too alive?
Yeah, sort of like the Uncanny Valley.
Yeah.
Sort of. I don't know.
I would be very uncomfortable if I had, like, a full-on human-looking robot, like, serve me food at a restaurant. I would be, like, slowly going for my gun just in case. Who am I kidding? Not even Twitch is watching this. Thanks, Bill. I appreciate the support.
I don't know. I think AI definitely has like its uses, and like it's like any other tool, right? Like it can be used for good or for bad. It just depends how we use it, right? Because you know, there's genuinely useful things. It could be used for like pattern recognition, stuff like. I think what's really interesting for me is
congratulations, Shimp. You are now besties with a 13-year-old. Congratulations.
What was I? Yeah, they've started writing. I don't know if you've ever seen. There's this really funny YouTube video you should check out. I forget exactly what it's called, but it was like Batman, but written by AI or something.
I've seen those. Yeah.
And it's like
they've done Star Wars as well.
Yeah, it's like a Batman script that's illustrated, but the script is written by AI.
Yeah,
and it has like, you know, it's like I'm brooded Batman or something along those lines, right? So like I think stuff like that is genuinely really interesting. But I just wonder,
learning human emotions. Run for the hills.
Yeah, I just wonder, is that eventually going to replace like human written scripts?
Well, I guarantee you there's some writers out there who probably would do worse than an AI writer.
Yeah.
Like the writer of most of the sequel movies.
Well, so I'm just wondering, you know how like vinyl records nowadays are like the sort of like the hipster sort of like original like
the OG
hi-fi sound?
Yeah.
Is human made music gonna become the vinyl of the future, so to speak? Like are people gonna be like, you know, back in my day, real people made music, right? And it was
back
so much
in my
better.
day, you'd have to get into a booth and actually play it.
Right, you know what I mean?
Well, I think, to be fair, I do think that we're already kind of, not, I wouldn't say at that point, but, like, we're slowly getting, with the amount of, like, editing and, like, things you can add into music nowadays, without the thing actually having to be there.
Right.
Like, that's all, they are do that, like, this is something that, like, the music industry has done for years at this point, right? Where, like, you don't have to have Louis Armstrong in the booth to get, like, quality, like, saxophone sound. You can add that shit to your music in, like, post-production.
Yeah, and I have no problem with that, because it's an actual person that's doing it, right?
Yeah.
There's still the creativity of that musician who's doing that, right? They're just doing it in a different format. I have nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
I just think it's an interesting question where you know, like...
Man, I wish I knew what our topics were going to be before we started, man. The titles I'd have for these streams. Has AI gone too far?
And there's an interesting, another question I want to ask. So we see, as far as music goes, it follows certain trends, right? You know, like we had, like...
And the trend right now is garbage.
Well, you know... That's your opinion, but like, you know, we went from like jazz to rock to whatever, punk to pop to
hip hop
to hip hop. Now it's like sort of rap stuff. So we have like this evolution of musical styles, right? And now along with hip hop and rap, we've got a lot of like EDM and electronic stuff. That's
good stuff.
So I'm wondering if music was entirely AI generated, do you think it would have that same sort of evolution? Like, do you think it would change styles every decade?
That's
like we humans do? You don't know, like...
I think it would have to, Because I think even though the AI would be creating the music, I think what you would end up seeing is just like regular market forces intervening. Well, like if you pump out the same style of music over and over and over and over again, the audience is going to get bored and they're going to be asking for something new. I think that eventually you'd like see different styles coming and going. Maybe one style kind of stays, but like ebbs and flows, but like comes in and like for like a couple of months you don't hear, and then it comes back with a vengeance or whatever.
Right.
Off-topic
Has a
question,
revival.
but do you like the director Quentin Tarantino? Luca, do you want to answer that first, or do you want me to go first?
I'll answer first.
Go for it.
I'm sort of.
So that's a no.
Well, I like some of his movies, and I'm not a big a fan of other of his films. For me personally, I don't really. I'm not too big of a fan of like the excessive amount of gore in his films, and I understand it's a stylistic choice, and I understand that some people appreciate that, which is totally cool. It's just not for me. I feel like again, I have nothing wrong with violence or gore
In film.
If in film. In a movie.
I'm a big fan of violence, guys.
In a movie. No, I said I have nothing wrong with. Okay,
Yeah.
Big difference here. I have nothing wrong with
A very big difference.
with violence or stuff in a movie if it serves a purpose.
Yeah.
But I feel like sometimes he skirts the edge a little too much with like you watch Kill Bill and like I get it, it's supposed to be like a lots of ketchup everywhere sort of deal.
Yeah.
But like I don't know, sometimes I sort of roll my eyes at it. But I do think that he has some genuinely good movies. I will say I do think Pulp Fiction is a little bit overrated.
That's your hot take of the night.
Yeah, especially nowadays. I feel like I'm super into film. I like it a lot, and I feel like when it comes to like there's this sort of there's this like joke that film students talk about where they'll have this project where they have to name their favorite film and why, and 80% of the students will just say Pulp Fiction. Yeah, because it's like the de facto standard for an avant-garde movie that's also a popular movie and it pushes the boundaries of film or whatever. I appreciate the film for what it is. I'm not the biggest fan of it. I do like the sort of disjointed narrative that they're going on, where it's sort of like two things at once, so to speak, that sort of line up in the end, so to speak. So I like that. I just think as a film, it's fine. I just don't think it's as amazing as everyone says. I like his first movie, Reservoir Dogs. I actually like that one better. I thought that was really cool.
I was gonna say, because his next question was, which one of his films do you really like?
Yeah, I think probably Reservoir Dogs is one of my favorite Tarantino films. Because again, I could be totally wrong here, but maybe I think the budget for that movie was definitely less than his other films, and a lot of the movie takes place in one location, this one safe house.
Right.
Basically, they're like these guys on the run from the cops, and they're going in the safe house, right? And it's sort of like a stage play in a sense, where the location stays the same, but you have actors that are entering and leaving the location.
Right.
And I actually like that dynamic. I think it's an interesting way of taking something that would normally be a something that sort of holds you back and then doing it to your benefit, right? So I think that's a good movie. I like that movie too. Yeah, Pulp Fiction was good too. What else has he done? Kill Bill is fine. It's cool, I guess.
Right.
The lady, I forget her name. I think in the movie she's just called the Bride. I think it's her name in the movie. I forget the actress's name. She's really cool, but the movie itself is cool, I guess.
Yeah.
What else has he done? Oh jeez.
Didn't he do Django Unchained?
Yeah, that was good too.
Right.
Yeah,
Just goes. Yeah.
I don't know. Overall, I think he's a good director. Not my favorite for sure.
Fair enough.
But yeah, I think he's.
So my general take on Quentin is I actually quite like Quentin Tarantino. Like Luca, I'm not the biggest fan of all of his stuff, but I think my favorite Quentin Tarantino thing, or at least my favorite thing about Quentin Tarantino, is his interviews. before his films come out, where people are like asking him questions, and you can go on YouTube. Like, these videos are all over the place. But you can watch these videos where he'll be sitting down for an interview, and like maybe there's some questionable material in his films. Like, for example, I think in like Django Unchained, they flat out say the N-word several times throughout the film because in the period the film was supposed to take place, this is the language that they use, and like you'd have like media people coming out and going, well, don't you think that like it's a bad thing for like you to use that kind of language in like I don't know when that movie came out, like 2016, 2017. In a more advanced society, and he's like, no, like this is the way that they would talk, and we're going to represent this accurately. We're not going to water down things, and I actually really appreciate him for doing that. So for many of you who may not know, I am very much anti whether it's self-censorship or overt censorship on someone else, from someone else. So the idea that he is not going to censor his scripts or his films to suit people's delicate ears, boo freaking who, in my opinion. Say what you want, it's a film, you don't like it, don't go watch it. Right. And the way that he'll do things, like people will be outraged for the things that he does or decides, the decisions he makes in his films, and then he'll be like, you realize that your outrage is just fuel for my film. Like, you understand this, right? This is not you like coming after me. This is an interview. This is publicity for my movie.
Yeah.
I really, really like that he does that. I've seen Inglourious Bastards. It's all right. It's a fun movie.
Yeah.
But I like movies that make me think. Like, I really, really do. Like, for example, I loved the Joker film. That was a movie that made you had to sit back and go,
that's not Tarantino,
boom.
I don't think.
No, not Tarantino. I'm just saying movies that make you think, right?
Yeah.
Or like provide a not anti-hero, but like provide some sort of like, hey, you thought this was bad, well maybe you should think about why the person is doing it. Oh god, I sneezed. Thank the Lord, I turned away the last second. But yeah, I like Quentin Tarantino. I appreciate his work. It's not all of his films are my kind of thing, but I appreciate the movies that he does put out. And generally, I think he tries really hard to, like, put together really, really good casts. For his
I
movie.
will agree with that. Yeah.
Like, his casting decisions are, in my opinion, fantastic. Then did you like Once Upon a Time in Hollywood providing an alternate history that made me think?
See, I haven't actually seen Once Upon
a Time in Hollywood, to me, seemed really disjointed.
Don't spoil it.
I'm not going to spoil anything.
I want to see it.
But I'm sorry. I was sitting in the theaters when that movie came out, and I sat down and watched it. That movie dragged on and on and on.
Yeah, but you said the same thing about Blade Runner 2049, so your opinion is invalid.
2049 is a garbage film.
No, it's not. It's the greatest. It's the best film of 2017, without a doubt.
You were going to say greatest film of all time, and then you realized Return of the Jedi.
I was going to say greatest film of 2017, but doesn't make much sense.
Dog shit.
No, it was
walked
amazing.
out of the theater.
Okay, you guys want to know a good director? Denis Villeneuve. That's a good director right there.
No, you want to know a good director? George Lucas.
I agree.
There you go.
I agree.
There's your easy take.
But he doesn't like being a director, though. He likes being a writer.
That's
you know?
fair.
So like,
and I'm sorry, anyone who gives George Lucas shit for his writing, it's like, you realize there's a point to why he's writing things in a particular way.
Right.
Like, oh, Anakin's dialogue was so wooden. It puts an emotion into it. Why is the writing crap? He's an awkward, pubescent teenager who's being told emotions are bad. He's gonna act like a little shit. I'm sorry. Come on. Want a good director? Dave Filoni. Agreement.
Well, he's not really like a film director.
No, like, he directs media projects.
Yeah.
Right? Give him that.
Yeah. I don't know.
Here we go.
No,
now you're gonna shit on Filoni.
No, I'm not. No, there's definitely things to talk about with him, bones to pick. But like, yeah, you know, he does have that. That's, you know, one thing that's important is that you have your vision, right, and you stick to it. And
Bill says, "Shut up, director is director, regardless of what the project is."
I guess, but
Bill, why the fighting words, my dude?
No, but Filoni was always more like the creative director in a sense, right? He's like the ideas man, right?
Right.
So yeah, I guess it does count. But even still, like you know, for as heavily involved as he is in something like Mandalorian, right? Like, he's not directing every episode, right? There's different directors per episode.
No, I get
that.
But
he's still there, every episode working on the story, right? So that's where I think his true expertise is, right? Like the, doing the whole story, right? Because they had like a bunch of people, Bryce Dallas Howard, I know, directed one of the Mandalorian episodes and stuff. So yeah,
it was good stuff.
Yeah, I do want to see the Once Upon a Time in Hollywood movie though. A
lot of people that I spoke to like really, really loved it. A close friend of mine went to see it. She loved it. Mm-hmm. I was just kind of like, it's all right.
I heard
it's good.
They talk a little bit about like the Manson murders and
yes.
So that's what
that's a big, I wouldn't say big part, but the ending is like.
Okay, right.
They get in there.
Yeah, because I read there's a really good book. It's called Helter Skelter. It's
beautiful. Yeah. Well, sorry. Let me be clear. It's an interesting read. I don't want to, put any ideas in people's head. It's a good read.
Yeah. So I really like that book. So kind of excited for that. Yeah, I haven't seen that one yet. So that is. And I what was the other? I think, did you do the Hateful Eight? Was that Tarantino?
Yes.
I haven't seen that one either.
Hateful Eight, Inglourious Bastards.
Right. I've seen
Django Unchained.
Yeah. Those are good. I mean, I wouldn't say he's my favorite.
You know what? But on the topic of Django, like I said earlier, Django Unchained and Quentin Tarantino. You know what I call horseshit on? There is a movie, by the way, fantastic movie. You should, and this is in no way sliming anyone who worked on this project or going after anyone who worked on it or directed or acted. Because, by the way, 12 Years a Slave, the movie, loved it, fantastic. I think I'm pretty sure it won a bunch of Academy Awards as well. Love that movie. However, I will say this: the double standard that happened between 12 Years a Slave and Django Unchained was pathologically insane. Okay? 12 Years a Slave, which is literally about the story of a young black man living through like slave times in the South in the United States, and they also used racist vocabulary like the N-word. Never got shit for it. Quentin says it, well, not Quentin, obviously, he doesn't personally say it, but like the people in his film say it, and suddenly it's a whole fiasco. It's like they're made in the same time period by people who held those beliefs. That's the point. And I don't know why there was such a double standard. I don't get it. I'll never understand it. But like,
I think it's because 12 Years a Slave is like, it's supposed to be like this historical sort of account, like drama, I guess you could say. Whereas with Tarantino's films, I think the way he presents is more sort of like a non-fiction action thing. So like there's less, and I don't like this defense whatsoever, but I guess there's like less, like expectation of like realism. You know what I mean? Or there's like less. I think that's it's supposed to be like a dumb.
I genuinely think that's a dog shit movie. Take. Anyone who was willing to watch Django Unchained, although it does have some comical or more action oriented, it still is focusing on the slave trade. Yeah. Like that's the whole thing. A person fighting for their own freedom. Django Unchained, right? That's the point. Does it have action sequences and comical bits? Sure, but the underlying message is still valid. And I don't understand why we're just going to write stuff off because, it wasn't like a true drama documentary series. Really? That's the line we're going to draw for this kind of stuff?
I don't. I'm not corroborating.
If that's the case, why can't we write off Joker because it's a superhero film? For its take on the underfunding of mental health services.
Yeah, I don't think you should, right? I think people tend to.
Sorry, I just think and I'm not saying you're doing this again, but I just think that's a dumb take.
Right. Yeah.
I know you don't agree with it, but it's a dumb take.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
I agree. I think the same thing happens with science fiction a lot. People think that science fiction, in film is just space. Yeah. Lasers. Blah blah blah. But there's. Yeah, but I love science fiction because it has the space and it has the room to tell stories and ask questions that maybe you can't ask in another setting, right? Yeah. Like stuff with robots and AI, right? Yeah. And I feel like people sometimes just give it or like gloss over, right? So like, oh, it's just science fiction, right? But there's like, there's generally a lot of thought-provoking stuff in it, right?
Yeah.
Even obviously we talk about Star Wars ad nauseum, right? But there's like, Dune has a lot of
really good thematic stuff.
has a lot of interesting stuff. Star Trek obviously asks a lot of good questions as well. One of my personal favorites, 2001: A Space Odyssey, by Stanley Kubrick.
Mm-hmm. Another really great director.
I like Kubrick a lot. I like him more than Tarantino.
I think Kubrick definitely provokes audiences to think a little bit more, which is nice.
Yeah, that's true.
No, I agree with you. Again, all the shit the prequels got when it first came out, although now it's considered like a reverent, like holy script at this point.
Well, I don't know about that, but
the 180 flip has like been pretty funny to watch. But like the prequels is literally not only obviously the story of Anakin growing up, training as a Jedi, and falling as Darth Vader, but like the story of the prequels is how authoritarianism rises and the eroding of a democratic republic. Right. That is the whole point. It's, hey guys, you give the politician too much power, you make him chancellor, you make him supreme chancellor, you give him emergency powers, and boom, you're an empire. Just like that. Bing, bang, boom. Lesson for you. Don't forget it, kids.
Right.
Now, if you want a movie that went on and on and on in the cinemas, Dune.
Wow. I mean, yeah, it is long. It is definitely long, and it's only part 1, right?
Yeah.
So, I understand why they did it though, because there's definitely like a lot of.
I don't think Dune went on and on. I think if your story is provoking enough and you're enjoying it, it makes the time fly by.
Right.
Like, I'm sorry, no one said us of Endgame, and that was a 3-hour film.
Right. Yeah. Because they have just a lot to cover.
Yeah.
Right.
No one slammed Titanic, 3-hour film.
Yeah.
No one slams Lord of the Rings, 3.5 hours. Sorry,
each.
8 days each film, right?
Yeah.
Because the story is interesting, the plot is good, the characters are well written. You give a shit, right? Now there are parts of Dune where they're just talking to each other, and I'm like, all right, let's move this along a little bit.
Let's see the knife fights again.
Yeah, back to the aerial bombardments, please.
Yeah.
And Dune was good.
I liked it. It's
Dune
only
was
part
good.
1, right? So there's 2. I mean, yeah, I love the director, so I just,
But yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Dune was good.
It is good.
Yeah.
And
thank you for being able to get a copy of it.
No worries.
It's really good.
No worries about that. What were we talking about?
We were talking about directors and themes and
Themes.
films, and how sometimes things that come in perhaps comical or less than serious mediums can often still have striking and provoking themes and ideas in it.
Definitely.
Bam! Getting us back on track.
What are other good directors that I like?
Spielberg. I feel like Spielberg is
I like
kind
Spielberg.
of a go-to.
Yeah. I like
Spielberg's good.
I like more of his older stuff a little bit more, but not to say his newer stuff is bad. It's not by any means. I just there's a movie that I think a lot of people sleep on. It was Spielberg's first feature film. It's called Duel. I really like it. I showed it to my friend and he liked it too. It's basically about this guy in a car who gets chased by this trucker for the whole movie.
Oh, I think I've seen it.
It's 1973.
Yeah.
I think 72. It's somewhat old, but I really like it. I think it's a fun sort of movie. And it has like that little Spielberg charm.
Yeah.
Obviously Jaws. I love Jaws.
Spielberg has a fetish for spotlights.
Yeah.
Every film where anytime like it's nighttime, like spotlight.
Yeah, I was thinking, do they have it in Jaws? But sort of, because there's that one scene where they're diving and he has like the
he has the thing. Yeah, exactly.
It's not really a spotlight, but it's more like an underwater flashlight, sort of. But like I guess sort of. Yeah, I love Jaws. I've watched that movie since I was like 5 years old.
You have like the full-scale poster in your basement.
Exactly, yeah. I love Jaws.
It's a good movie.
And I love Jurassic Park too. Those are both
Let's
really,
remember,
really good.
Jaws is literally the film that scared people away from going in the oceans for years. To this day, there is like great white fear like fanatics out there.
Yeah, not only that, but it's like one of the original summer blockbuster movies, right? Like, you know, before that, there weren't like that many movies that sort of like broke the box office, so to speak.
Yeah, people
right?
weren't exactly flocking to the cinema.
Yeah, and then you've got Jaws. After that, you've got Star Wars. Then you've got Indiana Jones. Then you've got Back to the Future,
Jurassic Park.
You know, the Terminator movies. You got all like these huge movies, right? But Jaws was like one of the first, so that's really awesome. But
what year did Jaws come out again?
1975.
1975.
Yeah.
So that
2
film
years
would be
before
almost
Star Wars.
50 years old.
Yeah, in 4 years from now. Yeah, it's pretty crazy, right?
Man.
And it's aged like fine wine, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. Obviously, Jurassic Park is good too. One that I think doesn't get talked a lot about, but I really like, is Close Encounters of the Third Kind.
Right.
I don't know if you've seen that one.
Haven't, but I've heard a lot about it.
It basically, in a world where every single alien movie is, oh no, aliens come to invade us, and they like blow up Washington D.C. for the umpteenth time, this movie takes a much different approach to alien visitation, wherein the aliens are actually sort of friendly,
right?
And their interest in Earth is purely a scientific interest,
right?
Like a an intriguing sort of curiosity about humanity and stuff,
right?
So I really like it. I think it's good. Basically, a bunch of people across the United States get visions of Devil's Tower in Colorado, which is this mountain in Colorado, and they all have to go there for whatever reason, and I won't spoil it.
They're flocking.
But there's definitely aliens in the movie. Yeah. But yeah, I thought it was a really good movie.
I wonder where they show up.
yeah, and it's got what's his name, Richard Dreyfuss.
Ooh,
which is he was also.
Now that's
Jaws
the name
too.
I've not heard in a long time.
That's a good movie. And then obviously we watched this one together, Minority Report. That was also Spielberg.
Oh my god, that's so good. You want to talk about thought provoking?
Exactly right. That's
so good, and it's an action film.
Yeah. So people just write it off as like, oh, it's a stupid sci-fi action movie, right? But it's not, right? It makes you think about whether or not a person is guilty of a crime that they have yet to commit it, right? Future crime and all that stuff.
Pre-crime.
Yeah, pre-crime.
Yeah.
So I think it's a genuinely thought-provoking movie as well.
Or Demolition Man, where literally the government starts banning speech.
It's
such a these, and again, action film.
Right.
With great underlying messages and themes.
Yeah. There's one movie with
Jeff Goldblum Hart. Yeah, Jeff Goldblum. He's a character.
He's cool.
He's a guy. He's out there, and we should be frightened. It's a chaos. Oh Lord.
What was I gonna say? There's this one Christian Bale movie.
Do move in herds.
That's like a ripoff of 1984, but it's like an explosive.
You mean one of the greatest books ever written?
Yeah. It's my favorite book.
Jeff Goldblum was sexy. I'm gonna have to hard disagree with you there.
Really? I don't know. I think he's pretty.
That's it.
I mean, he's no Keanu Reeves. Let's get that straight. Keanu Reeves is the sexiest man alive, and there's no discourse there whatsoever. No room for.
Whoa! What about Ewan McGregor?
He's second. He's second.
A second to Keanu Reeves. That is a high honor.
He's a very close second. But he's still. Keanu Reeves is like. If you genetically engineered a human, like if you took like a survey, right, of like what people found like attractive, and you genetically engineered the perfect person, they still wouldn't look as good as Keanu Reeves. I'm just putting that out there. Like, this man was blessed by the gods, the divine.
He doesn't age.
Yeah,
he doesn't age.
He doesn't.
You look at him in like the 90s. He looks the exact same now.
Yeah, he's just got a beard. That's it, right?
I want his skincare regimen.
Right.
Someone explain.
And not only that, but like
dead
you see like all these Hollywood elite and whatever, and they're like, oh, they're such bad people. Like, no, this man has a heart of gold right here. Like this man.
I love the picture where he's standing next to the female fan, and he has his hands to the side where you can see them. And
right,
like,
yeah.
You snarky SOB.
Yeah, like this man, like he's genuinely caring to all the fans. Like he always does like the photo ops and whatever, right? And he's like super introverted, right?
He came back for another Matrix film.
Yeah,
that speaks volumes.
Yeah. Not only that, but I lived like a kilometer away from the high school he went to in Etobicoke. So like I personally
is that like your Mecca? Is that your like holy pilgrimage?
Yeah, I think it was the Etobicoke.
I'm standing where Keanu stood.
It was the Etobicoke School of Arts. I think it was. That's where he went for high school. Yeah, I lived like a kilometer away when I lived in Etobicoke. Yeah. That's my shrine. That is my holy ground, so to speak. You know.
I am walking where a god stood.
You know. So yeah, that's
Lord.
awesome. He's.
So like, what you're saying is, if I were to kidnap a celebrity, you'd rather I kidnap Keanu Reeves rather than Ewan McGregor.
No, I don't think you should kidnap him because he doesn't deserve to be kidnapped. You should
if I brought him to you wrapped in a bow.
I think the bow would actually be like demeaning to him.
Wow.
You know, like
you don't want him dressed up. You want him just
like
the way
no,
he
but
is.
like the bow is not the finishing touch. He is the finishing touch. You know what I mean? Like
his mere essence and existence.
He's the complete package.
Everyone always lambasts for like buying like Belle Delphine's like bathwater. Luca would buy like Keanu Reeves bathwater. He would consume that.
I don't know if you know this, but he actually has a motorcycle company.
Really?
Yeah.
So what you're saying is you like to ride his hog.
Exactly that. Yeah. That. I couldn't have said it better myself.
There you go.
Yeah, it's called Arch.
You heard it here first, folks. He wants Keanu Reeves' hog between his legs. He wants to feel the soft purr as it moves.
Yeah. It's called Arch Motorcycles. It's pretty cool. It was in Cyberpunk. Nice. So he was also in Cyberpunk. He's in video games too. So.
Yeah.
That's pretty
He's breaching all of the medias.
Yeah.
Mediums. Sorry, not medias.
Well, I guess it technically counts, right? Video games, movies, they're all media, in a sense, right?
Yeah. But they're mediums.
Yeah, I guess.
It works. Just nod your head and say yes.
Yeah, he's cool. I love him.
Yeah.
He's the best. If he's listening, which I know he's not, but like...
Keanu!
You're the best. Please come visit Toronto. And me specifically.
Don't come visit Toronto because Luca will find you, and terrible things will happen.
Yeah.
Keanu Reeves is missing for 4 days.
Yeah.
He's strapped in his basement.
No, I don't even know.
Bill, welcome back, buddy.
Yeah.
Yeah. And on that note, let's transition. So I know I talked to you about this earlier. But did you hear that Kathleen Kennedy said that she would like the sequel characters to appear in future projects with Disney? I think it will be a cold day in hell before what's his face who played Finn
John
comes
Boyega.
back. Yeah. I think you will have to either give him 80%, 90% of the revenue for these projects to get him to come back. But I'm sorry, all the shit he has said about Disney at this point, no way they bring him back.
Yeah, but no, I mean, I don't blame him.
Oh, no, neither do I.
He speaks out about, the kind of treatment that his character has gone and stuff like that. Yeah. So, yeah.
And even Daisy Ridley, who openly said, yeah, we had no plan going in. We had no clue what we were doing.
Yeah.
She openly just I'm throwing you under the bus. I don't even care at this point.
Yeah. I mean, I honestly don't really care. I think people tend to get caught a lot on it's the sequel characters they're bringing back. But, you and I have talked about this a lot where, just having cameos in general, if it's, not actually...
If it's not integral to the plot, don't have it there.
Yeah, exactly, right? You know what I mean? So I'm worried that this will just fall into that category again, where it's hey, this is baby sorry.
This is Baby Ray.
Baby Ray, or baby Poe Dameron, right? You know? Because we already know his mom and dad were part of the Rebel Alliance, right? So maybe they'll show him as a kid or whatever, before he became a drug dealer.
I don't think it'll be cameos. I think they want to do projects that are revolving around these characters. There's already talk of doing a project where it's Rey remaking the Jedi Order and her first apprentice is Finn. Kind of like what the holiday special was trying to do.
That's the talk? That's the word on the street?
Yeah, that's what I've heard so far through the Star Wars grapevine.
I don't know. I mean, maybe. I think a lot of the actors that make up the core cast might have moved on in a sense, and I understand that the Disney money is very intoxicating.
Adam Driver has said he'd be more than willing to come back.
Sure. Adam Driver for sure. I'm not sure. Maybe I'm sure Oscar Isaac would as well. But I know he's still found success with other stuff, right? He was in Dune, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. It's
the Dealer's Gambit or whatever it's called that came out right before the lockdowns went into place.
Queen's Gambit?
No, not Queen's Gambit. It's something Dealers something.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
That was a great movie.
Yeah.
You want to talk about a guy that's psychologically messed up? Jesus.
Yeah. Even Daisy Ridley, stuff like Knives Out.
Adam Driver is hot. Prove me wrong. He's not. There's my counter.
He looks like someone tried to draw Keanu Reeves from memory.
It's weird though, because like the face doesn't do much for me.
But the hair?
No, the pecs. That man must live in the gym. Oh. Okay, you saw him in how many were there? The memes that came out of that film. Ben Swallow.
No, but like he's not even like a big guy though, right? Like you see him in other movies. Like he was in what was it, like Marriage Story, right?
Yeah.
Like this guy's just like regularly built, you know. He's not like Dwayne the Rock Johnson, right? You know, like he's not
Dwayne the Rock Johnson. I has openly spends about 8 hours a day in the gym.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That man literally lives at the gym. Shimfather, so hot. Thank you, Bill. No, I disagree.
Your own chat is conspiring against you here.
That's fine. I'll shut the channel down. If it gets too rowdy, I'll just shut the channel down. It's fine.
You can always make a new one.
Exactly. Yeah. He's unique. He's not. He's just another black-haired male.
I don't know. I don't think that's fair. I do think he's a genuinely good actor.
Yeah. We're talking about his appearance, though.
No, I think he has a unique appearance. He's sort of got like that.
He looks like a more swollen, younger Keanu Reeves.
Yeah, not really. He looks like Keanu Reeves now, but he doesn't look like he doesn't look like Keanu back in the day.
He has a cool face,
like short hair, shaved Keanu. Like they look different. I don't know, but I don't know. I think he's definitely, as far as his acting talent goes, I think he definitely has like.
No, he definitely has acting chops.
Yeah. So
again, go watch Marriage Story. Yeah. Fantastic in it. I'm pretty sure he was up for some awards for that movie as well.
I think so, probably.
I'm still pissed what they did with Kylo Ren. You had so much potential and you were... sorry, I don't want to hurt myself.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't really care if they do it one way or the other. I don't know if I'll watch it anyways, but like...
The only way I would be tempted to watch more Star Wars product with the sequel trilogy characters in it is if they did like a background to Kylo. That would be it. That would be the only thing that could possibly draw me.
But we have the comic book, Rise of Kylo Ren.
Yeah, but you know it's always cool when you actually get to see it in like a television series.
Yeah, no, I don't want to see Luke pull a lightsaber on Kylo and try to kill him in his sleep.
Don't worry, we already saw... No, I mean like Kylo as a kid. Like him growing up with Luke and Leia.
I don't know.
Han and Leia.
I feel like as an EU fan, that'll just give me flashbacks to like Anakin and Jason Solo.
Yeah.
And you know, it's like we had this, but better. You know.
It was right, but Luca, there's no source material.
Yeah, sure, okay, yeah, there's not. Yeah, and yet they keep like copy pasting even like Legend stuff nowadays too, right? It's like the new canon is not even that different than Legend stuff, honestly, in a lot of aspects, especially in what takes place between the prequels and the OT. A lot of it's the same, honestly.
Yeah.
But yeah, at least Rogue One's cool. Rogue One
was good. We can all agree Rogue One was good.
Yeah. And I like Solo too.
That end scene.
Yeah, that
will always get me going.
For Rogue One, you mean?
Having just in general. Having a bad day, slap on the Vader hallway scene.
Yeah, there you
go. We're ready to go for the rest of the day.
Yeah. It's a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. Book of Boba Fett. I'm kind of worried about Book of Boba Fett in a sense.
Here we go.
I feel like they're sort of trying to like make Boba Fett like a good guy in a sense. Like, you know, there's a whole...
I know, you just want him to be like, yo, I'm in it for the shekels.
Yeah, because that's his character arc, right?
Yeah.
But no, I feel like they're trying to make him like more marketable, and in a sense they're kind of...
They're going to make him an anti-hero.
Yeah, or they're just going to...
Which, I'm so sick and tired of them doing. They keep doing it.
Yeah, but like, you look at the Boba Fett trailer and stuff, it's like, it looks like he's like, oh, that's how Jabba the Hutt ran stuff. I'm different, right? You know, he's going to be like this like benevolent...
No, he's not going to be benevolent.
Crime ruler.
No, he'll be like this... Jabba rule. I'm pretty sure the line exactly is Jabba ruled by fear.
Yeah.
I rule by respect.
Yeah.
Which is pretty on par for like most mafia films. right? The head of the family is...
So it's going to be like the Godfather kind of...
No, but they openly said, they've already called it that. The Godfather of Star Wars.
Oh, I didn't know that.
It's going to be like a Godfather, which, by the way, we'll talk about a dog shit film. Godfather. No redeeming qualities. One of the worst films I've ever seen in my life.
Wow.
Godfather. No, it's worse than Blade Runner 2049. It's worse than that. And I walked out of that film.
I agree, because I like Blade Runner 2049 more.
No, I think
it is worse.
I think Godfather is literally one of the trashiest films out there.
I don't think that. I don't think that. But it's okay. I don't know. I think I might like Godfather more than Pulp Fiction.
My mental health suffered after watching that film.
It's not that bad.
No, it is. I'm sorry. It's all bad.
Okay, here's the thing, though. The director for Godfather, Francis Ford Coppola.
Yeah.
Everyone praises him for The Godfather, but I think his best film is actually Apocalypse Now.
Probably.
That's his best film. And I think people sleep on that movie, but that's...
I haven't seen it, but it's on my, I must watch it before I die.
I love that movie. I love, I have this thing for Vietnam War movies. I don't know why, but, growing up, it's...
Cue Return of the Jedi.
Yeah, exactly, right?
Cue Ewoks.
You got the parallels there. But yeah,
exactly.
Growing up, those are kind of movies that I always watch. And Apocalypse Now is definitely one of my favorites.
Nice.
It's the director's cut is 3 hours long, and I'm not sure if I recommend you watch it, but I love it anyways.
I recommend that my mental health stay intact.
It's good. I like it. I really like it. I think it's a good movie. Did you know Francis Ford Coppola actually wanted George Lucas to direct Apocalypse Now?
Imagine how different that film would have been.
He wanted George Lucas to direct it, and he said no because he was busy. And he's like, "Fine, I'll direct it myself."
Fine.
But
what was he busy on? Star Wars.
No, this was after.
Oh, this was after.
I think he was busy with Indiana Jones, which he didn't direct, but he did executive produce.
Right.
But apparently, from what I've heard, George Lucas does have some involvement, whether it be with the script or whatever, for Apocalypse Now. So yeah, he's in a lot more stuff than people give him credit for, right? People think just Star Wars. No, Indiana Jones. Indiana Jones is named after Lucas's dog, Indiana.
Right.
The whole involvement with Apocalypse Now again. This is an influential guy. It's not just Star Wars.
Yeah. Plus, you have the references in the film to Star Wars as well.
Yeah, exactly right. So
which is kind of nice.
Yeah. So, get the credit that he deserves, especially for ILM.
The creation of Pixar. And
and Skywalker Sound and all that.
Yeah.
Good stuff. So this guy gets around. Yeah, that's a good movie as well. Full Metal Jacket, also a really good one.
Haven't seen it.
That's a good one. That's by Stanley Kubrick.
AI by Stanley Kubrick.
Yeah. Platoon.
That movie kind of throws me for a loop a little bit. AI.
How so?
It's just in the beginning. It starts off and when I first watched it, I found myself disinterested by it. Mm-hmm. But then the more and more the film went on, into the 40, 50 minute hour mark, I was like, okay, this is a good movie. I like it.
Yeah, it's it's a sort of slow burn. But I feel like a lot of Kubrick's films are like that.
That's true.
Take a little bit to get going, and then it's oh.
The Shining.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, if you watch Full Metal Jacket, the first half of the movie is a boot camp, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then, the second half is actually going to war, right?
Yeah.
But, the first half is integral to actually setting up the characters, and it'd be hey, it's not just war that messed these guys up. They were messed up from the start, right?
Yeah.
From the sort of indoctrination that they experienced as part of the military.
Yeah.
Right? So, yeah.
Good stuff.
Yeah.
Film is great.
I love movies. They're cool.
Not to shit on television series, because there have been a lot of really good television series through the years, but there's something special about film. There's something special of the old time, go to the theater with a bunch of people, sit down and really watch a movie in that kind of environment. It's really nice. Mm-hmm. Bill, I think I'm going to go to sleep. I've been up all night. It's 3 o'clock. Bill, go to bed. I've been saying this since this afternoon. Go to sleep, my dude. I appreciate all the love and support, my dude, but you gotta sleep. Really, seriously. Love you, buddy, but you gotta sleep. Go to bed. I'll talk to you. I guess it would be tomorrow for both of us. But yeah, I'll talk to you tomorrow, Bill. Just go to bed. I appreciate it, buddy. Thanks for stopping by. There you go. Austin, what is my opinion on Paul Rudd? When you say what is my opinion, what do you mean? Are we talking acting chops? Are we talking like what do you mean by what's my
like
opinion?
just in general? Like what do you think?
What is my general opinion?
Did you know he was
Rudd?
named the sexiest man of 2021?
I didn't. That's a lie. It's a heresy. He's not.
Yeah, Keanu Reeves.
He looked like a child. He looked like Yo, Paul Rudd is literally the definition of a man-child. I'm sorry. I know he's like 40-something years old or whatever, and it's but he looks like a man-child.
He does.
Right?
I don't know why, but something about...
Okay. Sorry, go ahead.
No, just really quickly. Something about Paul Rudd reminds me of Ben Stiller for some reason.
Yes!
I don't know why.
Yes!
Like, am I the only one? Like,
no, you're not the only one.
They have like the same energy. I just like Ben Stiller more because he's been like in more movies that I enjoy. You know, like
I agree.
Night at the Museum, Zoolander.
Yep.
You know.
Okay, so my opinion on Paul Rudd. I'll be honest. I actually haven't seen a lot of Paul Rudd's work. I know that he does a lot of like comedy stuff, which is
Clueless.
Fine in its own thing. However, I will say this: most of my experience with Paul Rudd has been through watching Ant-Man and the Avengers films. I'll be honest about that. There's a lot of opinion. There's a lot of people out there who will lie about liking actors from before they were in the Avengers. You're a liar. You've never heard of Paul Bettany in your life. All right, let's be honest.
He was in Solo.
I know that.
Okay,
right?
sorry.
No. I think overall, as a human being, he probably is a really nice guy. I've seen him doing like charity stuff. He seems like a stand-up guy. He seems like a pretty funny dude, but he's absolutely a man-child. Like if you were to point if 4-year-olds tomorrow decided to like do the whole like stack each other up on their shoulders and put the trench coat around them, I would bet it was Paul Rudd. I'd be like, that's a child. No, he's the worst. Really? You think he's the worst? No, Paul Rudd seems to be like a pretty stand-up guy. I don't think he puts too much stock in his own his own fame. He also looks like the kind of guy who would like walk into New York City and be lost within 30 seconds and like having to ask like homeless people like where certain buildings are or whatever. It's like
that's a very odd adjective to ascribe to a person, but okay, like what does that say about him? He's bad with directions. He's overly friendly.
He looks like the guy who'd be like clueless in 30 seconds.
Hence his starring in the film Clueless. You know.
I truly cannot stand him. What did Paul Rudd ever do to you? What's the beef with Paul Rudd?
He just is.
I want an answer.
He just exists. He's just Paul Rudd.
I will wait here all night. Paul Rudd seems like a cool dude. I'll give him that. Paul Rudd, if you're listening right now, you're a cool dude. Don't change, buddy. Don't change.
Keep doing you. I mean, he's no Keanu Reeves.
The only people who are, let's be honest, the only people who are watching this podcast are people who are paid to, the Twitch people, to make sure I am not crossing the line, and like the FBI. That's who's watching this, alright?
Yeah, well, maybe they have.
His existence hurts me. How? You're gonna have to do a little bit better than
to be fair.
But his existence.
Could you not say the same thing about Kathleen Kennedy?
No. Kathleen Kennedy doesn't hurt me. She hasn't hurt me. Her existence is a you know how the legends describe how in Legends in Star Wars they describe Nihilus as like a wound in the Force. That's Kathleen Kennedy on my psyche. She is a wound in my soul that I will never be able to like get.
So
back.
She does hurt you.
But it hurt isn't the right word. It's just,
you're right. It's not bad enough. You gotta go. It's worse.
It's like Stockholm syndrome.
No.
Whenever I see him, I physically recoil. Damn. Paul Rudd, I'm sorry, but you're getting shit on in the chat, my dude. Oh Lord. Actually, speaking of people who show up in people's chats, one of our friends, who's also on Twitch, go check her out, Anime Lover Alley. She's a great streamer. She's working her way to partner. I think she's got over 1,000 followers on Twitch now. Like, she's really taken off. She's got like sponsors from like actual businesses. You had like chair companies who do like gaming chairs doing sponsors. She had Raid Shadow Legends sponsor her. She's like not face of, but like she is doing a lot of advertising for this place called Sizzle Popcorn. She actually had a WWE wrestler who shows up on like their like television series regularly show up in her chat. It was a whole thing, yeah. There's just something about him that makes me angry. Okay, I don't know why, but alright, I'll take it.
You know, I'll say this. What was the
Imagine being so harsh on a dude, being like, just the sight of you makes me physically recoil in like disgust.
I mean,
that's what many women describe me actually. With disgust.
Yeah. Was it the first Ant-Man movie? Yeah, it was the first Ant-Man movie. The one that has Lawrence Fishburne.
Yep.
You know, Morpheus?
Yep.
I think he did a better job than Paul Rudd did in the Ant-Man film. I think the villain was better than Ant-Man in that film. I'm just going to say it.
Yeah. He's definitely a better actor than Paul Rudd.
Yeah, I love Lawrence Fishburne.
If you guys have watched the TV series House of Cards, the actor who plays the villain in Ant-Man is in House of Cards.
Really?
And his story is actually really really sad. And I'm gonna say his story arc. So if you haven't watched it, spoilers in 3, 2, 1. It's been out. The show's been out for years. You haven't watched it, too bad. Basically, he gets set up and used as another politician's like puppet, and basically he develops like a gambling disorder, a drinking problem. He gets into issues with prostitutes and hookers that he gets brought up to his rooms. He's a senator in Congress, and basically he gets manipulated by Kevin Spacey's character, and eventually Kevin Spacey's character actually axes him and makes it look like a suicide. Really, but he can act. Like, this guy can actually act. Really good stuff. If you haven't watched House of Cards, guys, regardless of the Kevin Spacey issues and all of that crap, and when I say crap, I don't mean I don't believe it, but like, the guy's got his own issues, which I won't go into. But it's a really good TV show. Yeah, that's just my 2 cents on that.
I don't know. I feel like it would just be like an hour of Kevin Spacey endlessly droning on about how changing changing the day of a national holiday has like some extreme ripple effect on him becoming president or something, you know?
Well, the show actually starts out with him being passed over for vice president.
Yeah.
And so basically he spends the entirety show manipulating and puppeteering his rise to presidency.
Yeah, but I feel like the whole show has sort of like a Sigma male vibe to it in a sense.
No, it does. And there's actually
he's like better than thou, sort of.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He's like, step 1, you got to do this, this, and this. Step 2, you got to do this.
Well, there's parts where he breaks the fourth wall and he actually talks strongly to the audience, and it's really good stuff. At least I thought it was good. It was actually my mama who turned me on to the show.
I haven't seen. I have a friend who's super into politics, and he watched it and he liked it, and which told me like not to watch it.
As another individual who also enjoys politics,
well, I have no love for that whatsoever, so I'm not brave enough for.
I'm not brave enough for politics.
Yeah, so I don't know. I don't know.
I don't know. Typical Luca approach.
Yeah, there are other TV shows for me.
That's fair. I think, guys... oh, don't do this to me! Hold on.
Lisa, you're tearing me apart.
Can this go... Lisa! You're tearing me apart, Lisa! I still has too much emotion into it. I don't know how what's-his-face did that movie.
Tommy Wiseau?
No, but James Franco played him in a movie called
Disaster. Oh, I love that movie.
And he, like, spot on got it. I want to know how. Oh, hi, Mom.
It's complete method acting. People say Christian Bale's a method actor, like...
I actually think as good as Christian Bale is an actor, he's a total asshole.
Yeah,
he's like one of the worst people in the world.
There was that thing where he was like yelling at some poor like
some dude was just bringing coffee to the set, and he lost his shit.
Yeah, like that.
He stopped the scene mid-film.
Like, I'm sorry, you can be a method actor and that's totally fine, but like that is not okay. Like that's when you draw the line. Like,
yeah, and he's like tossing him out.
Yeah, if you're gonna be like berating,
I'm trying. You should have seen it.
Yeah, oh my, like these guys are underpaid. like overworked as it is, you know.
But just as long as they don't get tipped, right, Luca?
Yeah, no, but like you know, like they don't deserve that. They don't.
No, I agree.
You know, like I would have just walked out at that point.
Same.
Like just like no, you know.
Well, he did walk out of frame, but like and into an no I'm kidding.
Yeah.
But yeah, no. Christian Bale is definitely an ass. Is definitely an asshole.
Yeah, he just has that whole like vibe, you know. No, like he was really.
That's a guy who takes himself way too seriously.
He was really good in American Psycho because he's the kind of guy to play
him. Yeah, he
to
is
play Patrick
Bateman.
Bateman. Yeah, you know, it's like, yeah, that's the kind of psychopathic.
I think my favorite scene in American Psycho, that entire film, is when he's comparing the different textures and colors of the business cards.
Yeah.
When he's going so hard into depth, I'm like, who the does this guy think he is using off-color eggshell white? Like, oh.
Yeah, good movie, but yeah.
That man's killed a few people, and like in real life, in his like porch,
in a video game.
Yeah, under his porch.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say.
But
yeah, and I think on that note, we're going to call it a night, guys. It is 11:55 a.m. I did it again. It is 11:55 a.m. on our end, guy. We have been...
Isn't it p.m.?
p.m. There we go. See, it's so late. I'm not being able to speak English. Yeah, so this is about an hour and a half. I'm pretty sure this is the longest podcast we've ever done.
Really?
I'm pretty sure. Most of them end up being an hour, like an hour and 10, an hour and 20. But this is almost an hour and 40.
Okay, well, I don't think that matters anyways, but...
It doesn't usually, but... Anyways. But yeah, that's gonna be it for us, guys. If you liked the podcast and you're not already followed to our channel, it's Imperial's Force on Twitch. Feel free to go follow us there. If you're feeling super generous, feel free to subscribe on Twitch. It does cost some money, but hey, if you have an Amazon Prime subscription, you can subscribe for free. We also have a YouTube channel where we put all of our episodes that we do in the podcast up on YouTube. Same name, Imperial's Force. So go ahead and subscribe for free on YouTube. And on that note, guys, I'm going to have a good night, and may the Force be with you. Bye, guys.
Bye. Thanks for tuning in, everyone. Have a good night.